If I am pregnant, and it is Jesus. I'm 9 months pregnant. My family, my friends, my pastors at church, they don't believe that I'm pregnant. I'm not stupid, I'm not crazy, I'm tired of playing these games, and it's about to be over with. I am now days away from giving birth, and they're like, you're not pregnant, you're too tiny, you're probably just getting fat. One of my biggest temptations is wanting to whack you across the head. I know it's Jesus. I don't care if my family disowns me. It really comes down to if you're a true believer in Jesus or not. I know it's Jesus.
I know you're crazy.
There's no denying that. I know my pregnancy is real. I've gained at least 22 pounds. I was sleeping one night and my baby punched the bottom of my stomach and kicked me up. And I can feel his head right here. It's like right below my belly button. I took 6 urine tests and they all came back negative. So I specifically asked for a blood-drawn pregnancy test because I have a rare blood type. The doctors have refused to give me a blood test. I don't care what the home pregnancy test or the doctors say. When I give birth to my baby, no one is going to deny him because he is my savior.
Okay, it's good to meet all of you. And tell me, Haley, do you feel tension in your family right now?
Definitely.
And tell me what the tension's about in your view.
Well, I mean, we still argue a bunch. Like, even the other night, we got into an argument because I was trying to sleep, and they walked in, and she was talking, Adriana was talking loud, and I just started going off, and she decided to act like an idiot.
We weren't talking.
She started recording me, and little things already kind of make me mad, and so I'm always timid, and it feels like it's not going to stop.
The whole reason we got in a fight and stuff is because she was acting crazy. She was going off because we had woken up because we were brushing our teeth, and she was just started going ballistic, crazy, just yelling and screaming, and got in Mom's face. And
she put her hands on me again in the hotel room. She was talking crazy prior to that to her going off that evening. Mm-hmm. She was saying that everybody was saying GD in her head, and she said it was making her crazy.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
We were fighting, but my mom had jumped in the middle while she was recording me going nuts. And so I had pushed my mom back because my mom was in my face and Adriana was standing directly behind her. Okay. So I didn't want my mom to get in between me and Adriana because she decided that she was
Mom was in between us because you were acting crazy, acting like you were going to do something towards me.
You were trying to swing at me as soon as you walked out of the door.
That's so not
I have a red mark that one of the guys noticed on my chest.
And I have it all on video.
No,
I know a lot of people take issue with my beliefs. I'm a Caucasian because everything about me is different from an African American. I have naturally straight hair. My hair isn't nappy, it doesn't require weave. My nose is not giant as like African Americans. My lips are perfect. They're not too big and they're not too small. Like, they're just perfect. My ears, I don't have black people ears because they're really giant. Most African Americans speak ghetto. But when it comes to black people, I think they're all ugly and I have nothing in common with them. I'm different from African Americans because I'm white. My figure is just like Kim Kardashian, and she's a wonderful role model. I act and I think like a white person instead of a black person. I believe that I'm completely and utterly better than them. Like, we're on two different levels. Like, okay, African Americans are here, I'm here. White people act and think just way more mature than African Americans. Black people, they think in a criminal way. When I think about African Americans, I feel like asking them, what is wrong with them? They're really dangerous. If an African American is on the same street as I am, I'll cross the street to avoid their chaotic, thuggish ways.
Are you okay?
I'm irritated.
I'm sorry.
I just know that I'm white. I mean, she might not know that I'm white, but I know that I'm white. I can feel it through my veins, I feel it through my blood. I tell my mom, I'll never be like any of those Negroes. My mom tries to criticize me about my supposed race. I tell her she's just ignorant. There's nothing wrong with my views or beliefs because I have freedom of speech and everything I'm saying is true.
Okay, Treasure, how are you this morning?
Pretty great. How are you?
I'm all right.
That's great.
Now, you've been listening to everything we've talked about so far,
Yes,
right?
I have.
And is there anything that your mom has said or told me about that's inaccurate, incomplete, or that you want to add something to?
Well, I mean, actually, yeah. You guys called me delusional earlier, and I feel like the only people
I did
who...
not call you delusional. I asked your mother if she thought you were delusional.
Yes, well, you asked her that question. I would like to clarify the fact that I am nowhere near delusional. I'm actually very capable and a very intelligent person, so...
Being delusional and being intelligent are not mutually exclusive.
Well, I feel like if you're being delusional, then you gotta be some type of retarded. And I'm not that.
Well, I have two things to say about that. Number one, that's absolutely just simply not the fact. And number two, using that word is very derogatory. So I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't use that word.
Yeah, well, okay, well, I'll understand, only because I'm a very respectful person. And if you wish that I don't use that word, then I most definitely won't use it.
Okay, appreciate that.
Okay, no problem.
When you say that you believe yourself to be Caucasian, tell me why you believe that to be true.
Well, I know I'm a Caucasian because when I wake up in the morning, I just have such a great life. And that my hair is so perfect, my skin isn't ugly, and I'm not fat also, which is also a really African American thing. So, like, I'm just nowhere near like them. And plus, they're so thug and criminal that I can't relate.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I mean, that's just so riddled with ignorance, I don't even know how to respond.
Okay.
And I'm not saying it to be insulting. Ignorance doesn't mean lack of intelligence, it means lack of information. I think you're confusing the concept of race and ethnicity, because race is really biologically determined.
I know I'm biologically white. I feel it through my veins and through my blood. I don't just think I'm white. I know that I'm white.
And
there's no doubt in my mind.
Even though I have told you that your father was not your father and that you are actually African American?
You might be lying. I don't trust anything that anyone else says. I know that I'm white.
Ethnicity, on the other hand, has to do with whether or not you identify with a particular group in terms of their culture and practices, beliefs, religions, things that go along with that particular group. And that has nothing to do with race. Sometimes they can overlap, but not always.
Well, I feel like you're wrong. You're completely wrong. I know who I am, and I know my race, and I'm a proud white person. And there's nothing, I feel it through my veins, like it's literally in my blood. There's no way. I don't believe that I'm white. It's not my ethnicity.
Treasure, do you
It's my
accept
race.
I'm in Beverly Hills right now. I'm seeing a lot of Caucasian people, and I haven't seen I've seen only a gaggle of African Americans, and they were really gross. Look at that! It has like a Gucci design and everything. And they have a Chanel. I think I'm gonna die. I think that, of course, if an African American walked into any of these stores, I feel like people have the right to refuse service, and I feel like they would probably steal something. So of course they should be asked to leave, most definitely. Well, those are my fellow Caucasian people. They were so beautiful and pretty. I assumed they were models, so I had to say, tell them they were beautiful. Well, I'm just living my best life out here on Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills, and I just feel like I belong here, most definitely. The place I'm in, it just takes my breath away. We haven't seen literally any African Americans here, which is such a positive, good thing. My ideal place to live actually would be right here, where the homes are giant. There's really nice families. Oh, see, there's a little boy just playing Frisbee and stuff. Well, all the people here are Caucasian, so that's probably the reason why I most likely would fit in here the most, because, I also am a Caucasian person, and this is where I belong. This environment reminds me of the ghetto. This environment reminds me of the hood. So as you can see, her hair literally looks like it's a sponge. If you put your hands in her hair, you'd probably lose a finger. The smell is just so overwhelming, I just want to die. And it's way too many African Americans. That's probably some of the reasons why it smells. There's dog right there. There's actual dog right there. Someone really needs to clean up. All these people look like pickpocketers. They all just look like they're gonna steal from you. African Americans are more known to actually commit crimes and Caucasian people. So, I mean, you never know with them. They have giant lips. Their noses are really, really big. And they're just like really ghetto. It's like completely disgusting how ghetto they are. Like, honestly. Like, where do they come from? This is the reason why they're called monkeys in the first place, because they don't know how to act. I could never live in this filth and among all of these African Americans and among all of these people who clearly have absolutely no class. African Americans just, they ruin everything good.
Does it occur to you that you might be hurting people's feelings? You might be causing someone pain with the things that you say?
Well, I believe African Americans don't really have feelings and don't care.
Do you just have a list of things that you say to be outrageous?
Oh no, I feel like honestly everything that I say is the truth. I mean, stereotypes are stereotypes for a reason. Someone had to make them up, you know? Someone actually had to look at a black person and say, wow, you're really fat. It's a black stereotype. Almost all black people have diabetes. All of them are fat and overweight.
I have diabetes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I feel so bad for you. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm doing all right.
Oh, okay.
We're worried about you, sweetheart.
I think the only reason why people are like laughing is because you guys act like you've never heard people say this before. It's just because I'm gonna step. I'm actually gonna say what everyone else is thinking because it's the truth. But I'll say it. I'll say it.
If you disagree with what she's saying, stand up.
All of them are liars. All of them are liars. And behind closed doors, they type the same thing as me. They're just quiet about it. That's it. And you can hear by the reaction in the crowd, some of them are African Americans, because I can hear the fact that it's getting real loud in here.
You need some help big time.
Please or die. Boy! You think you hard. Here I come, this is my final time. You wasn't expecting this, boy!
My son is addicted and obsessed with violent video games.
I hear your guns.
Video games are my son's #1 priority.
He plays when he wants, where he wants, and for as long as he wants.
He has stayed on for up to 20 hours. He never comes out of his room to eat with us, but he will yell out from his room, "Peasant, bring me a plate."
Come to me immediately! I request backup immediately!
The two games that he really likes to play the most are Grand Theft Auto and Fortnite. He gets very excited about the number of kills because the more kills you have, the higher you go in the game. It makes him very aggressive.
Empty it!
His favorite game right now is Grand Theft Auto.
Double barrel, bitch!
It is very violent. They rob, shoot, kill, beat.
Let's empty out this!
And everything they do is demeaning to women.
Jiggly jiggly, I'm coming for the booty.
When my nephew is playing the video games, he's very rude and disrespectful to the people that he's playing online with.
Thank you! You didn't see anything!
He plays the game online with adults, and the language that they use is absolutely horrendous.
Beep, beep! CEO coming through!
I'm gonna kill you, beat the out of you, and piss off.
And that's transferred over to his mom.
When I tell him, watch your language, he'll tell me to shut the up and
get out.
He will turn over furniture, he breaks dishes, he has basically destroyed his room.
How would you like your death to be? Death by AIDS?
These violent games have desensitized him from actual pain and death. He has been bullied. I am scared that he will take the behaviors that he's learned in the game and retaliate. He could become another school shooter.
Let's empty out this.
This is something that I feel like I could deal with in 30 seconds or 3 hours, depending on how I approach this. But if you're so desperate, why did you not write in? Why did your sister write in 9 times?
I guess I'm just complacent to it. I'm used to it.
I feel like I know what's wrong with him. My question is, what's wrong with you? You have a 12-year-old child yelling, "Get in here, peasant. Bring me this," and what do?
I do it.
You do it. He locks you out of the house in the freezing rain and holds a sign up to the window, "I will let you in if you go get me Starbucks." And you go get it. Now, come on, help me. I'm just an old country boy. You have to help me understand how this makes sense.
I've been in school for the last 18 months, and I'm gone 4 nights a week and 12-hour shifts on the weekends. And his dad has had anxiety disorder and heart issues, and so physically and emotionally, he wasn't able to handle him. And so by the time I got home from work, I work 40 hours a week as well. So by the time I got home, I'm just so tired and mentally and physically exhausted that I would just do whatever I had to do to keep the peace.
Okay, now, his dad passed away
September.
in September of last year, right? And from a heart condition, correct?
Yes.
And your son barely shed a tear, right?
Yes.
In fact, he said, hey, people die, moving on.
Yes.
What do you think? I mean, you're looking at this, you're there every day. I just met you guys.
The way that he treats her is just deplorable. But I think she was crippled a little bit by her husband and the way that he kept things super secret. So she wasn't allowed to talk to me about it. She wasn't really allowed to talk to anybody about it. And so when she finally started opening up to me, and I realized, oh my goodness, like he is really cussing you out. He's really doing these things. Then that's when I wrote in originally. At that point, I thought maybe she'll kind of take control and it'll get better. And it just